Hi, I'm Shade Milway. Welcome to My Dad's Friends, the show about my dad's friends. My dad is a nerd, and so are his friends. Today, we talk to Sean Wynn. Hi, Sean. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Shay. Thanks for having me, man. Like, honestly, I've been watching your show, and I'm pretty excited to be here, and I'm honored to be a guest. And yeah, your dad is a nerd, and I'm definitely one of his friends and a nerd friend. So, thanks for having me.
Yeah. How did you meet my dad?
You know, funny thing, if I remember correctly, I actually technically met him through another friend of ours who actually was a previous guest on your show, Kurt Lloyd. But I know that I had seen your dad and you around town several times before that, before we officially met. And, because I used to run a comic shop in downtown Milwaukee, and I know I'd seen him around there a few times, but I officially met him, I want to say here at the lab through Kurt. And we just hit it off right away.
Mm-hmm. Comic book or action figures? Which is your current fave?
Ooh, okay, so that's a tough one, because I love both. I'm going to have to say action figures because I make custom action figures, so I buy a lot of figures for parts and a lot of accessories, and I'm always collecting that stuff. Plus, you know, I really love the toy technology that we're getting these days with all of the articulation and the sculpting has improved so much. And so I think toys are up here, but comic books stay right after that because I back a lot of Kickstarters, and I like independent comics a lot. So I usually get one or two a week.
My dad says you've done some rapping. You still spitting bars?
You know, it's funny you should ask. I took a break. The last time I put out anything rap-wise was like 2016, 2017, and then the last performance was sometime right before the pandemic. But just this week, my friend and producer, Keelan King from Monarchy Music, just sent me a new beat, and I started writing a new track yesterday. So I haven't been rapping, but I will be rapping again. I've been motivated to get back into it because of the state of things in the world. So I'll leave it there.
Sirius Black?
Yeah. Sirius Black. Okay. So obviously the name comes from the Harry Potter franchise, but I do a different take on it. I've used AKAs a lot. Like I used to go by Hank McCoy, Beast MC, or I used to go by Bad Wolf. And so the latest iteration of that is Sirius Black, especially because I started my YouTube channel called Sirius Slack with Sirius Black. And I spell it differently as well. And I don't know, I just like the name and I thought it was fitting. And I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Favorite Comic-Con?
Ooh, let's see. I would say my favorite Comic-Con used to be Emerald City Comic-Con up in Seattle. And not because of the con itself, but it was because it was like a good chance for me to get out of town. It was a bigger con for a while because they used to have like 3 floors of stuff for you to look at. And the artist alley there was huge. And it was a good opportunity for me to connect with the comic creators that I wanted to get to know and hang out afterwards at cool places and have dinner and things like that. But they also had bigger panels and stuff like that. So right now, I'd say it's between Emerald City and Rose City Comic Con. But if I can ever get back to my hometown, Chicago, I will definitely be at C2E2.
Mm-hmm. Any good stories from Comic-Con?
Oh boy, so many. Actually, one of my favorite stories would have to be back when I was still working at Things from Another World, and we were at Emerald City Comic Con, and I had a booth. We had a booth set up there, and I was working the booth, and out of nowhere, here comes walking Gina Torres from Firefly. And she came to our booth, and she came to purchase her Funko Pop so she could have one on stage with her for her panel. And so I was very excited, and I got to take a picture with her. That was really cool too. My other favorite Comic-Con story has to do with a celebrity crush, and I'll be honest here. It was at San Diego Comic-Con a few years back, and I was walking through the crowd, and walking next to me, I didn't know at first, but I turned and looked, and then I had to look up because it was Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones or Sandman or her many roles. And she's like, what, 6'7" or something like that? But the thing is, she was walking so close to me, and her security was there, but everybody else thought I was part of her security, so they just let me keep walking with her. And then she talked to me. And I was like, that's it, yeah. She also smells like cookies.
Yep.
So.
If you could have any superpowers, what would they be?
Oh, boy. You know, a lot of times people will say things like they want to be the ability to fly or teleportation or super strength, stuff like that. Currently, I would love the ability to, kind of like Cypher from the X-Men, to understand and be able to translate every language there is that exists on the planet. And that's including binary, computer language, body language. I want to be able to read and interpret and speak all of it. Followed up with that, it would be cool if I could have voice mimicry. If I can make my voice sound like any way I wanted it to or anybody I wanted to, because then I could sing in every language I ever thought of.
Mm-hmm. What would your superhero name?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
If I had that, if I had that, like even though it's not directly correlated, I always thought that the name Encyclopedia Brown was a dope name. I would love to steal that one. In fact, I knew an MC back in Chicago who went by Encyclopedia Brown for years. But yeah, I would probably do that or something like that, or I don't know. Maybe I'll have a bunch like I do now.
Share socials. How do we find more of you?
Predominantly people can find me these days on my YouTube channel. Like I said, it's called Serious Slack with Serious Black, and where I do reaction videos and interviews with comic book creators and talk about mental health and stuff like that. But you can also find me on Instagram under Serious Black, Blue Sky, and I do have a Facebook presence, but I'm not there that much. But mostly Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions for me?
Yeah, I do have one. I do have a question for you. How did you get the idea to start this show?
My dad.
Yeah? It's because he's a cool guy?
Yep.
With a lot of cool friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. He's a cool dad. If you guys have never met his dad, by the way, he's not exaggerating. He's a very cool, one of the chillest dudes I've ever met in my life, who has a wide variety of taste in a lot of different things. And I think that's why we get along so well.
Thank you, Sean.
Hey, thank you, Shade. This is really cool.
Very nice. That's another episode in the history books. Thanks again to Sean for being part of it.
Thanks to Shade for having me.
Like, share, subscribe. Bye.